Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, change makers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What up, guys? I'm Emily.
And I'm Lisa. And here with us today is Angel Evans. And today we are the Conscious Collaboration. How you doing, ladies?
Hey.
I'm great.
So happy to have you here. Angel, yeah. I've enjoyed our pre-chat.
Pardon?
I've enjoyed our pre-chat.
I know. Pre-chat was juicy. We're lubed up and ready to go.
All right.
So I just want to, explain a little bit of the background of our pre-chat here. So as everybody knows, Emily's our favorite Gemini, and we've entered into Gemini season. And in our pre-chat today, Angel brought to us a topic that she's been really delving deep into, and I think it's really beautiful and poignant that it came to her today, but really talking about the recognition, the acknowledgement of our eternal selves and our temporal selves, how to recognize them, how to access them, and how to integrate them into our daily lives. So Emily's not the only Gemini today. We're all recognizing our duality within ourselves. So Angel, I'll let you explain a little bit more about that.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be with you ladies. And one of the things that has happened over the last 6 weeks since we've last connected together is that AI is everywhere. It's on NBC, it's on podcasts, 19 Keys. It doesn't matter who's talking about it. We're in the AI is the new, .com. and so one of the things that I am devoted to, I've spent 30 years of my life developing the upgrade system for the human being. And as we were saying earlier, is that we have two selves. This first self is the eternal self that is always perfect and connected with source. And then we have the temporal self. And part of the reason for developing the microbiotic intelligence that we've spent 30 years doing for humanity is that we've lost access to the repair system to our DNA, which is what the microbiome is meant to do. And that's why everyone thinks that they can improve their microbiome. You can somewhat, but we are so debilitated over the last 12,000 years of canceling out all the bacteria. My organization creates the surrogate in the lab, feeds it all the bacteria we don't have and all the food we don't eat. And then those extracts of these micro concentrations, like 0.90, so small, they are able to go in and turn on the repair systems. But what is that purpose of that? So that you can be more congruent and remove the resistance between the eternal self and the temporal self. And I want to be a cheerleader in the world of helping humans to understand that the most sacred thing in all of creation is the human being. And before we give up this human self that we may not even fully have discovered, it might be a good idea rather than hand it over to AI. There's no question that AI is in our life and we're going to be using technology, but let's utilize it while up-leveling our intelligence, our divine intelligence. Divinity is, I love AI and I don't know where it's going. None of us really do yet. But our divinity isn't for sale.
Yeah, I like that. It's like let's not forsaken our gifts for helping AI to advance, but rather upgrade ourselves at the same time. We would be doing ourselves a disservice.
Yeah.
And to your point and your language, taking ourselves offline. If we're just sitting back and coasting and not putting in that work, that upgrade work into ourselves.
Yes.
Would I be understanding you correctly if I said that you felt like AI does play a role in this, or a potential role in the repair of our DNA and the up level of our microbiome, but that your concern is that people are taking it on instead as like a replacement.
I can't speak to, because I don't know every single thing going on in the world. My chemist reads 2,500 medical journals a month. I think when you think about AI and somebody has to go in and fix a hernia and they do it laparoscopically instead of cracking someone open, I think that's an incredible use of AI.
Awesome. Yeah.
If it comes to a place of putting a chip in our brain or even in the breast
Yeah. No,
implants,
thank you.
they did it in the 90s. They told everybody, we're going to put whatever implant you
Right.
have in your body, we're chipping it. And that's, I think that there are certain things, what we have been missing, and I absolutely acknowledge this, is that the reason whether someone has stress, anxiety, depression, MS, any disease, it's microbiotic dysbiosis. Like every single condition is exactly the same thing of the microbiome being offline in its capacity to turn on the healing system for ourselves. Now we know through like Joe Dispenza, we know what meditation can do. It's just, gosh darn, it's so hard, this life. There's so much practical stuff. So could AI replace certain, positions in our society and roles? Yes. And maybe would we actually become a society where we used our time more intelligently and started to evolve and collaborate? That's where I think AI is a gift. That's, that's haven't heard of anything yet, and we're pretty on the cutting edge, and actually beyond the cutting edge, which is hard to be. About whether there's an AI in something that's going to make the repair of the good bacteria. I don't know of anything. And even if you got the good bacteria, the terrain is so toxic. That's why we just deliver the result of what the microbiome would do. Like, and over time, your microbiome gets healthier. End of story. Because you're attracted to different food, different experiences, different people. But the key to this is Gemini life, harmonizing the eternal with the temporal. That's the juice.
So how do we do that?
Well, you work with Biome Tech and the microbiotic intelligence that we deliver, and hopefully if I get the honor to assist and activate, and that's one of the reasons that we're going to do I think we're going to do an I Ching reading, and then we're going to do a journey today where my intention is to help you touch the light of your soul.
Great.
Yeah.
Are you in for that, Emily?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Do it.
Okay, so we are going to ask of the I Ching today, what is the energy around this eternal and temporal selves that are within each of us? How do we recognize? How do we access? How do we activate? And then what do we need to know? And what can we share in this episode today with everyone to help guide them into stepping forward with this new self coming out of the session with Angel? And thank you. Anything to add, ladies?
I think it's important to add about AI that the only intelligence that we've created artificially never can do as much as our own DNA. Oh, there's no microchip smarter than our own DNA, and our little neurons are like feelers to pick up. Like when the three of us are together, we're not just etherically a two-strand DNA species. We almost are accessing infinite strands of DNA. And I believe that the human being is craving contact with their divine self, but contact with each other's divinity. So that's why we come together in this conscious collaboration, is to inspire and ignite more of who we are, so that as it's reflected, our amnesia washes away, our forgetfulness, and our hearts are filled with that divine spark. Because my spark is different than Emily's spark. And so is Lisa's. It's just that when we start to work as sisters and brothers in this world and want the best for each other, because we're not so deficient. I have found that most people are the best version of themselves when they feel good, when they're happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mostly we act like turkey turds when we feel like shit.
Turkey turd.
You know what I love what you just said too, as we're looking at this forward energy, is looking forward into a future where AI takes all of the busyness that we've been caught up into, all of the things that have taken us away from our true selves through this last revolutionary period, where we have stepped away from our intuition, where we've gotten away from all the innate senses that we were born with, and we lost them to societal construct, to expectations. And perhaps AI, if used correctly, will take away and alleviate some of this menial work that we don't need to be doing, so
Right.
that we can together connect more and access greater things that we might not even know exist today.
Well, there's been no time or space to contemplate the deeper questions of connection, the deeper thinking of, like, why did my soul come here at this time? Why do I have a loop tape of a certain type of trauma, betrayal, or experience going on in my life? So many people, and women, mothers especially, there's no space. So, like I was thinking when you were talking about AI, like, thank God for dishwashers. Thank God for washing machines.
Yes.
If we can bring in the new level of dishwasher, washing machine, but guys, the technology is going to go down at some point. We want our telepathy fully online because we're tuning into that. And I think that is the story in the story of history that's been changed so much for us. I think when we all spoke the same language, it's very possible that it was telepathy.
Yeah.
And then to keep us more separated, we all went into different languages from, all the different ones. So anyway, I could sidetrack us.
I know. I just got really excited too when you were talking about that. And even just now, I was thinking about a workshop I took before Emily and I even were friends at the studio. I took a workshop and we were thinking about what it was, the language before there was language. And whoever was facilitating the workshop said it was probably looking into each other's eyes.
Right.
And so she had
window.
to sit. I think, Emily, you might have been in the workshop or you were there, and I had to sit across.
I hate that part. I hate that part with all of my soul. Don't make me do it.
And it was so uncomfortable. But that's probably where communication started, and then the different languages. But I just want to say, ladies, as I talked about the first part of the question, what is the energy around our topic today? Is hexagram 61. It's a story of centering in truth. And it's wind above and lake below. Centering in truth involves becoming conscious of the relationship between your heart and the circumstances of your life. Don't you get chills every time we do this? This requires connecting with the fundamental wisdom that is within you, within other people, and within all of nature. Truth becomes power when you let go of prejudice and make yourself receptive to the world as it really is. This kind of inner transformation can produce a remarkably influential person, but it is difficult to achieve in the distracting modern world of false messages and fake friendships. This is not summing up everything that we just said.
Pretty much.
There's no accident.
The I Ching wasn't written with knowledge of AI.
That's right.
So, read between the lines here. It is achieved only by those who cultivate a genuine openness to the way things are and possess a willingness to see into the heart of things rather than merely looking at appearances. Wow.
Well, and what is the opposite of genuine? It's artificial.
And what is the human being? It's I think you must listen to the scientific men about this because they'll speak it so clearly. Greg Braden is the guy I love the most, and he was just recently, listeners, on Andre Duquan's Know Thyself podcast. And he explains that when you go down all the way down to the CTGA formulation of the atom molecule, it actually spells out God is within. Like, it actually spells out the words God. And that's where, people want to have universe or source. I'm not in attachment to how you tune into the fact that there is something higher than us connecting into this thing, or we wouldn't exist. And it's very important to listen to the geniuses that are speaking out right now. And it's kind of maybe why I'm being forced out of hiding to come in and go, yes, they are correct. And would you like to experience it for yourself?
Yes, yeah. I'm going to just give a few more topics that you can think about as you take us into the journey today. So some of the change lines, there's 3 change lines within this conversation. So they're connecting within the divinity, the heavens, and within the earth, the environment, and within us. Unity is possible when the force of integrated personality can radiate influence. Such a person guides through the power of suggestion. This power resides in the leader's hearts and affects others through their existence. So that's really poignant, I think.
That's
to
our
remain, to remain.
That's our eternal radiating into each other through our eyes, like the windows of the soul, radiating their unique light into that being as it starts to recapitulate, remember, recognize their divine self.
Ooh. See, Emily, you might have to look in someone's eyes.
Only on my terms. That's only on my
Understandable.
terms.
Understandable.
I don't want to walk into the room and have to eye gaze. That's just
So like a little bit of caution here. There's a little bit of caution, I think, related back to the AI conversation is don't be distracted by trendy fashions and clicks. Instead, dig down deeply, and your field will yield a bountiful harvest. Dare to know your own mind and speak it when the time is right. So leading us into the forward energy is affluence. We've gotten this before.
Yeah, we were looking, it's the octopus, what did we call it? The troll octopus.
Yes,
That's what I called it.
So it's been in the collective energy a lot lately. It's hexagram 14, the story of fire above and sky below. And I love, so you'll see the duality here.
Oh, yeah.
So the dark and the light, the pyramid above and below, as above is below.
Yeah, incredible.
Lots of fire energy here. So, there's a lot of presence to be felt as you're being an affluence. So this is moving forward. So I dare to say that, Angel, when you take our listeners through this experience, that they will have the capacity to have a great affluence and radiate. So it starts here, right?
Yeah. And a lot of what I do when I do these group journeys is we always go for, I'm a very good guardian angel. I want everyone to have a miracle, and I want us to come into activity often with each other so that we can create a blessing that's greater than any of us individually for the world we're in. Because these moments of tumultuous change are very challenging for everybody. They're very challenging for everybody. If you're not in some kind of challenge in your week or month or day, you're probably dead.
Yeah, for people going into this period of life, unknowing of the energies or not starting to do that work, it probably feels quite upside down. It's
right.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. But I wanted to assure everybody the forward energy coming out of this indicates supreme success! Exclamation point. Supreme success. It's like the proverbial pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. A person whose fortunes have turned for the better shines brightly now. So yeah. And since we just had this recently, what do we call it? The goblin, Emily? The goblin.
The troll octopus.
Oh yeah. Octopus goblin.
Yeah, there was a goblin. No, there was a goblin thing too.
Yeah.
I forget though. Yeah.
But I mean, this is a symbol of supreme success moving forward, and what we're leaving our listeners with today. And as a reminder, as we're talking about dualities, moving forward, you may experience miracles and maybe great success, and whatever comes out of this, whatever you gain from this, whatever you learn from it, make sure that you're creating sustainable habits underneath to support the success that is coming in, whether it be wealth, health, relationships, whatever your ideas that come out of this, make sure that you're creating that scaffolding, because we know with duality, there's always there's always the other side, right? So Angel, does that help guide your journey?
This is the beginning of being able to truly be hopefully a pillar or support of reflecting the divine light within each and every one of us. And so what I encourage people to do is, let me just start a recording here, because I'll send Lisa a separate recording so you could listen to it at night. You could listen to it. And I encourage everyone to, drink some water. You need the electrical current.
Yes.
I will.
Should I light my candle?
I tell people to lie down, get comfortable. I can't stand hair on the back of my neck when I go into this dimension of light, so I got to get it off. And there's no need to, if you're watching the video, there's no need to look at me or anyone else. And I encourage that it doesn't matter where your consciousness receives this. Oftentimes, people go into a very deep sleep and they just slip out of their body. And that's okay, because the subconscious is receiving this. And we'll see what goes on for these queens as we go forward. But we'll keep our eyes closed. So I'm going to say a prayer, and it's inclusive of all religiosity, spirit, love, light. And if there's a word or a language or anything that occurs in this time, I invite everyone to only take what is beneficial and surrender the rest. All of us have enough consternation and challenge in these times. So here we go. I would say take 3 deep breaths in the nose and out the mouth. And in this space today, we give great thanks to all the beings of light who wish to join us in this awesome communion of Stargate of Souls. I invite each and every one of you to begin to relax. Relax at a level that you may never have experienced before. Start by relaxing the muscles behind your eyes. Let go of your jaw, your shoulders, your hips. Allow yourself, while we're relaxing, to imagine a beautiful white wall of light. A wall of light coming from the heavenly realms to about 12 feet above your body. And we begin seeing different colors and radiant energies that start to pour from this heavenly realm into the physical temporal vessel of your body. And these colors are going to upgrade your DNA, open yourself into the fuller experience of who you are as an eternal being. So as we begin this visualization, I want you to see a violet light like the violet flame of Christ or the I Am Presence. Begin to pour from this white wall directly down into the left hemisphere of the brain, crossing through the corpus callosum into the right hemisphere of the brain, and creating a beautiful figure 8. Harmonizing and balancing both sides of the brain, relaxing your shoulders even more. Allow for the arms and the biceps and the elbows, all the way down the forearms into the fingers and the toes, and feeling your ankles let go, your calves. Relax your hips. And the next radiant color that begins to pour down into your being is the most beautiful emerald green. An emerald green that is vibrant with life, that pours into, create another figure 8 between the brain, the heart, and your root chakra. Seeing that infinity or toroidal fields begin to harmonize your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Allow for this radiant figure 8 to begin to emanate not only from the DNA of your cells, all the way through the entire vessel of your being. And the third radiant color pouring in today is the most vibrant iridescent. An iridescent that comes from another worldly experience, a world where we recognize we are not just these human beings. We have an eternal self that has lived in many realms and worlds and timelines. And what we do in the top figure 8 is we fully connect to all of creation that we have experienced before now, allowing for the center connecting point to be in the very center of our own hearts. And the bottom iridescent loop is all of the universes throughout all time and space. Allow yourself to plug in to all of creation and all of the universes that have ever been. As you relax even deeper and begin to let go of the idea of this world, I want you to see in your mind's eye, just behind your third eye, a beautiful golden door. I invite you to walk towards this golden door, open the door, close it, lock it, and see a spiral staircase in front of you. Allow yourself to begin to walk down this spiral staircase, even run down the staircase until you find yourself on a golden platform, a platform of your own heart. And as you stand there in complete stillness, relaxation, and release of this earthly world, you see a beautiful golden door again once in front of you. You walk towards it, you open it, you close it, you lock it, and before you is the most incredible throne that you have ever seen up until this moment. The throne is covered in jewels, and you walk towards it and sit upon it, and it feels as if you are held in the hand of God, the hands of a holy, one true source creator, and you relax even deeper. As you sit upon this exquisite throne encrusted with gems and crystals from another realm, another frequency, and yet they are completely familiar to you. Two enormous beings of light, somewhat angelic in presence, walk towards you, 80 foot tall, 100 foot tall, and as they come towards you, they initiate and ask you to stand between them. And as you stand from the throne, you grow. You grow into the enormity of the truth of who you are. And you recognize in this place that there are 12 chambers in this heart platform, and each one is radiating colors, frequencies, vibration, and even music into the field as you stand between these great pillars of light. They walk you around the throne to the 4th chamber on the left. This one is radiating out the most vibrant orange light like a sunset, so alive and so still. As you walk towards this entrance, they stand guard and encourage you to go down the tunnel. Well, as you walk into this vibrancy of orange light, it feels as if every cell of your body is tingling and enacting a new level of regeneration, a new level of vitality, to the point where you're skipping in this realm of light. And as you come 100 yards down, you come out the other side and you see the most beautiful crystal temple. A temple so exquisite that it takes your breath away. And at the entrance of this temple is a divine mother. In this moment, and she may look different to each of you, she has a silvery long hair and the most crystalline, otherworldly blue eyes. You walk towards her, she puts her arms around you, and you feel the love of Mother. And all other stories of you and Mom, they wash away right now. You open your heart and receive a level of unconditional love that washes through the cells of your body to the point where you could stay here forever. And yet she opens up with her arm over your shoulder, opens the door of this crystalline temple. And as you walk into the hallway, there are crystals radiating from the ceiling as if they are lights into the very cells of your being, wiring and firing another frequency and tone that is already there for you, but awakening it enlivening it for your full access in exactly the right time and space. She guides you to the third door on the left, this exquisite hallway. As she opens the door and you cross in, you begin to be welcomed energetically, telepathically by the team of elders, masters, judges, guides, and counselors who have worked with you since the inception of your soul. You breathe even deeper and let it all go. She walks you to the center of this chamber. There is a tablet floating in the center, and she assists you in lying down. As you lie upon this tablet, you let go of every thought, feeling, agenda, sensation until this very moment of now. For now, it's okay. You are completely safe and loved. You are nurtured and whole, and immediately one of the masters touches the soles of your feet, another touches the crown of your head. There are two on either side of your vessel, and one puts their hands on each side behind you, and the other places them on the belly. You instantly feel the wiring of electrical currents within your own vessel. You begin to see, sense, and feel not only a level of peace and harmony, a level of multifaceted capacity, a level of momentary, your life flashes before you like TV stations, and you begin to activate and remember more of what has occurred in the beautiful wisdom of embodiment of the life experience as a human being. As you are in awe and relaxation of this wiring and firing, there's an exquisite masculine presence that comes to the right side of your body and a feminine to the left. A beautiful, extraordinary expression of the yin and yang of both sides of you, and they all are enormous and electrically ecstatic. The masculine presence places one hand over the third eye and the other hand over the belly. The feminine presence places one hand in communion over the third eye and the other one over the lungs, heart. And a wiring and firing of the masculine, feminine, invigorating and toroidal fields of genetic upgrade, DNA presence. The presence of the I am begins to collaborate like the ocean washing over the sand. Very still and yet alive with activity. As this 12 inches above these centers begins to radiate almost an electrical storm of communication for your well-being. And I'm going to be silent for a minute as each and every one of us receives exactly the intelligence correctly designed for your upgrade and connection to more and all of who you are. And now this entire tribe would invite each and every being listening to consider right now the personal miracle, the personal upgrade that would help you to bring the best version of yourself to all of your life. And ask for this with total understanding and expectation that it is now so. Open your hearts without any regard for where this arrives. Allow this activation to be true and real right now. And I'll be silent for a few seconds. And as each and every one of us receives exactly the nugget of nutrient that is almost like the ATM PIN code for our own bank account, we see, sense, and feel, just like Back to the Future, all of these energetic fields like dominoes recapitulating the story and glory of the truth of who you are to unfold and blossom like a lotus in all of your world, your family, your culture, your continent, and let it blossom in love for all life. And I would ask, as a second part of our conscious collaboration, if each being listening now and in future nows, because we can time travel, let us radiate the light of our soul, the ribbon of light that who we are, collaborating all together to create an incredible golden orb of combined light for all of us. We're going to place this one in this time, I'm not quite sure why, over New York City. It is the golden orb that wants to be created today and these days forward in this particular moment. Imagine the radiant rainbow light of each of us going in and creating this, our own intelligence of DNA light, where and we're talking like hundreds of miles above New York City, just so the mind has a coordination, an exact logistic. Allow this golden orb of all of our radiant light begins to formulate a beacon. After about 10 more seconds, and then allow each and every one of us to bring that rainbow back into our own heart. And on the count of 3, we shall activate the next level of eternal remembrance and divine love for all living things in this quadrant, in this universe, on this earth. And this is an orb that shall be here from now and forever in its full potential of activating the memory and the washing away of amnesia of the love that we truly are. 1, 2, and 3. Feel a raindrop therapy go into yourself, your family, your business, your culture, your continent, your globe, your solar system. Allow us to coordinate consciously together for the upliftment of all. And as this continues, and you may tap into this at any time, for the purity of intention in the creation of this is for the upliftment of all, the benefit of all creation. Allow your awareness to come back into the chamber where the masculine and feminine presence lean down and kiss you on the forehead, and they step back. And as each of the masters and elders, the 2 touching the top of your bellies, step back on either side. And the 2 holding your back on either side, elegantly step back. The being at the crown of your head steps back, and the one at the soles of your feet. And as you open your eyes in this chamber, in this dimension of light, you look into the eyes of the Divine Mother that has shown herself to you. And you feel more relaxed, present, capable, inspired. As she assists you in standing from this floating tablet, she hugs you once again, and you look around at this extraordinary group of elders that have always been with you and always will be. And you recognize in this moment that you shall revisit this chamber. You have been here before, and you shall come often again for your own rejuvenation, for your igniting of that memory and congruency between the eternal and temporal existence that you are. And she begins to put her hand around your shoulder and walks you to the exit of this chamber. You look around in love, eye to eye, in mercy, grace, and joy. And you enter the hallway. All of those crystals that were radiating light, that light, come directly into the cell, all the way down to the mitochondrial activity, orchestrating and wiring the new up level of the software that you have received to become the best version of yourself each moment. As you come to the exit of this exquisite crystal temple, she hugs you once more. You look into her eyes and you recognize that you are crying, releasing, ice melting with gratitude for the light family that is with you at all times, for the gorgeous light that is meeting you in the earth realm through the vessel of another human being. You begin to skip down the tunnel of this exquisite orange sunset light, feeling as if you are a child of God, of Source, of the divine light. And as you come all the way through this channel, you find yourself in the very center of your own heart. The two beings walk you around and you sit upon the throne. You see the golden door. You thank all of the beings that have facilitated any change, any uplift that you may have received at this time. You walk towards the golden door. You open it, you close it, you lock it, and you find yourself in this exquisite reality suit. You begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes and allow yourself a great big stretch and maybe a yawn. And when you are ready, you come back into this world and open your eyes.
Wow. Right. You two are not the same people that went into that journey. Good to see you again. Thank you so much, Angel. That was beautiful.
Mhm.
Your voice is so good at leading us through that journey.
Well, you know, we all have supernatural skills. We all do. What I encourage in the mentoring and the work that I've done is they're none of our business if they're not for the higher powers. And so one of the things that hopefully that I seem to have developed or awakened is an ability to help others more efficiently and effectively access these libraries of that live within them and activate that. And the reason I encourage all souls, all humans, all families to work with Biome Tech and me if you're interested is so we can help you be the best version of you at all times, because your family, your tribe, your culture needs it. And right now, it feels like an important moment for us to come together and hook in our eternal light for the greater good of all. So it's a delight, and I hope to be invited out more into other communities. I'm being humbly kicked out of the cave.
Yeah, so any of our listeners out there, anyone who's viewing or viewed that guided journey with Angel, how do people?
Well, the best doorway right now is to email Catherine, which is a Katherine at biometech, which is BIOMETECH.com. That's the best way to find me immediately for all the ways that I am in service to your greater good.
We will utilize AI in a positive way to have that put in our show notes so that they can easily.
That's right.
Yeah,
We
and
can to our AI for that.
And it's also very beautiful to have people. I'm going to send the recording to Lisa, so that if you choose to put it somewhere, you can listen multiple nights in a row. The blossoming shall occur, friends.
Yeah, I definitely want to listen to it in the evening perhaps on a night when I don't have the children with my projector energy.
Yeah. I was rendered somewhat speechless, so take that how you will. It's a
Yeah.
rare.
Yeah. And that's why we want to play more, ladies, is that we want everyone to light up these parts of themselves. And, and I love activating this and showing the way, but I want to make sure that when I've left somebody, that they've got tools in hand to know how to go there on their own. And that's the purpose of the microbiotic intelligence, is to activate our absolute connection of divinity that we now are tasting as unique flavors. I'm not Emily, but man, do I love the nectar of Emily. I love and it triggers something in me that I can't trigger by myself. This is the vulnerability of evolution. None of us, the new currency is community. And so hopefully we enhance the greatness of you two pillars of light, and that I shall be invited again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you sure will be invited again. I can't describe, and I just want to share with all the listeners or the viewers, if you're watching the video, how organically and so beautifully this conversation came through today, and how magical it felt. I think, even Angel, as you were taking us through the journey and taking us through the colors that we were absorbing into our bodies, I was seeing those colors before you said it. So I'm thinking, how is Angel? How is Angel here? So I just think it's so beautiful to show that interconnectedness when you're using that higher self.
And I think one of the things that we had talked about, Lise, you'll see if this is still relevant, is what I would love to do in another week or two is do an evening transmission with your community so that we can talk about certain things, but then we can go into an even more place, and then we close off and they go into sleep. Because one of the reasons that I've taught, human design brought this to me, is that one of the reasons that it can be so important to sleep in your own field and not with a mate or a dog or a kid is that going to sleep at night with the conscious intentionality can take you into a realm or a classroom where things are downloaded. And so, I want to always leave every conversation that my devotion is that it is a no shame, no guilt path. There's no way that most people would know organically how to do this because we were never taught. And that goes true for many other things. So I believe the new revolution and renaissance is kindness and compassion. And for those high achievers that you girls attract, I believe all of us in that lane need more of that for ourselves. Because when we're loving who we are, even in our faults, goodness, I'm a goofball. I'm an idiot. I'm only good at anything because I'm a 1-3. So I've made a billion mistakes. And then I just want you to save you time and energy. But if we can all come into this humbly and go, we better start collaborating to create the world we want. Let's stop paying attention to the yucky business and get into the juice, because hopefully your audience is going to feel a new level of electricity and harmony with the three of us from tasting that light and now bringing it out and loving each other up. Pretty much.
I love that. You said that so well. We talk a lot about heart-centeredness, but I think this is just a deeper level of that. It's really just like cracked open and explored, and the way that you communicate heart openness is really like there's a whole other world inside. So
I think, I leave people with this idea. Look, the Holy Spirit has many mansions. What if, as this human potential thing that no one taught us how to use or access, what if there are galaxies that we've never visited? Wouldn't it be interesting to potentiate all of this thing before we hand it over to something that's not alive? And And Greg Braden says in that transmission, he said, look at the story of Dolly. We all know about Dolly being cloned. And what they don't tell you is what happened to Dolly. And hopefully I quote him in the data. When, the way to be awake is to go to super high places and then be practical, and super high places and then be practical. And I think she produced six offspring, and she died in half the age of all her other peers. They didn't say all that about cloning. They don't tell you the whole story. What if that, our ancestors and a lot of the elders talk about this, and I think in the Egyptian, or I forget the thing that chronicles all the kings that lived and ruled for thousands of years. What if we've been lied to, or we haven't been shared with? I don't want to make it evil. Evil's just live backwards, by the way. It's not that strong. Light always eliminates the dark, so we don't have to get all scared. What if we have an eternal being, and it also translates into our genetic, that when we can access these chemicals, we stop this chronic human aging process? Because I do want y'all looking hot and sexy, because there's a lot of vanity in this world. We do need you to look young and vital so that you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just fun, as
It's so fun.
our creator.
Beauty is fun. Beauty is exquisite, and everyone is beautiful somewhere if they're potentiated. So,
When you think about that, Emily, are you back fully yet?
No. Absolutely not.
God bless.
Angela, I'm really looking forward to sharing this recording of your guided journey into our temporal and our eternal selves, and that emergence. So this will be shared inside of the Conscious Collaboration podcast, the Conscious what is it called?
Collective.
Thank you. Part of me
I
is
got
still
you.
in there. Conscious Collaboration Collective, our close and private Facebook group. And it will also be shared inside of High Vibe Entrepreneurial Women. So you can find us there. We'll hang out in there and continue this. And it really is quite an experience. So we'd love to hear from you, our listeners, as you listen to Angel. What did you experience? Who did you emerge as? What did you gain? In those moments of silence, did you pick up and glean any information that you didn't have going into it that's going to really help you to transform your life, and perhaps even everyone that you touch in your family and your circles? And I believe that we're all connected somewhere right above New York City.
Yeah, we created an orb this time. That was the one that was the loudest, because I listened to. I mean, I did the sole radio station of your audience for about today before we got there, and because that's why you said, how could you tell the colors?
Yeah.
Before I said them, because I'm tuning into the greater of us that are going to be listening, and hopefully creating the RX, the pharmacological light formula for each one's personal genetic. And then I would also invite anyone who's ready for upgrade, reach out. We need pillars and pillars and pillars. We need children not to be in anxiety. We need everyone sleeping deep. We need us remembering and tasting the love that we are, so we trigger it in others. And that's what Biome Tech does, truly.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, please come back again. Please join us in further conversations. I look forward to that evening journey that you're talking about. So if you connect with us, either by email or inside one of our close and private groups, we can give you the details about that. And I'm super excited. Thank you both, ladies. I think this was just like the last time, totally unexpected experience. So this is something when we get together that it can't be planned for. So I thank you, Angel, for joining us again, and Emily.
I'm going to take a nap now.
She's going to take a nap and share with me. what she comes out with. I love to hear Emily's stories, by the way. We talk about them during training sessions, and a lot of what you described was very similar to, a lot of the meditations that we've talked about previously too. So just wild. But all right, ladies. Well, thank you, and listeners, thank you so much for subscribing wherever you found us. I hope that you received this message at the exact right time, and we will talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment, mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.